Welcome to the All Comfort Services Home Comfort Zone podcast. I'm your host, Theresa. I'm the marketing manager at All Comfort Services. Our podcast explores everything you need to know about your home's heating, cooling, indoor air quality, plumbing, and electrical systems. We share expert insights, practical tips, and engaging conversations with customers and businesses to provide solutions, ideas, and advice. Let's get started. Today, Taylor Bauch is here. He's the training specialist at AprilAire.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome. So, can you tell me a little bit about AprilAire?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we are an indoor air quality company at heart, having our background in the HVAC industry. So, for a little bit of history, we started back in 1954 with the first whole home humidifier and have only expanded our lineup over the last 70 years. Now, we're in every aspect of indoor air quality from humidification, dehumidification, air cleaning, fresh air ventilation, temperature control, and everything else in between. Our brand goal is healthy air in every home. We truly believe that everyone deserves to breathe healthy air. And in order to get there, it's a true partnership with HVAC systems, with installing technicians and service contractors to ensure that we're offering the best indoor air quality for every occupant in the home, as well as helping with their health, their comfort, and their home preservation.
Tell me a little bit about your role at AprilAire as a training specialist.
Yeah, thank you. So I started with AprilAire right about 4 years ago, coming up on my 4-year anniversary with the company. I started in our technical support department, so in our call center located right here in Madison, working with some great teams from both our technical support and customer service and order entry side. So my role was to work in our call center and answer the phones when those calls would come in. So calls from homeowners asking about product recommendations or some questions about their products, calls from installing service technicians and installers, everything from how to install the dehumidifier and service it to a humidifier, a fresh air ventilator, or everything in between. And within that role, after a couple years there, a supervisor role within that department opened up that I was able to grab as well too. So started to work on some more of the high level day-to-day activities. So helping manage our teams, onboard our new hires and trainees, making sure that they feel very comfortable in their role and able to talk about all these technical details with our customers. And then just a little over a year ago, a role opened up on our AprilAire Academy team. Now that is our team within AprilAire that handles both internal and external training for our sales staff, our product managers, engineering staff, manufacturing, and just about everybody in between. So now my role is more focused on training and content development, onboarding and training our new sales and customer service hires, as well as content development and training externally as well too. So for my role, I travel around the country at times as well too and offer trainings on our products, a little bit more focused on the product's technical side of them.
That's great. And AprilAire is located right here in Madison.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, completely located here within the Madison area, as you mentioned. We have a few different facilities scattered around the area, including all of our manufacturing. We fully assemble and design everything here in the USA. Ships out here from Wisconsin, as well as all of our engineering, product management teams, and our sales staff scattered around the country, as well as up in areas of Canada as well.
And how far is your reach with products?
Yeah, so great question. So we have a really expansive reach here. We're mainly dealing with residential and large scale residential applications, but we also have products within the multifamily industries, as well as in some light commercial applications as well too. So we deal with a lot of that residential service and replacement side. So helping make new systems more efficient, help protect systems and homes, as well as a lot of work in our new construction industry as well too. So we deal with new home builds, manufactured homes as well too, everything from fresh air ventilation to zoning solutions, air cleaning, and humidity control.
What are some signs of high humidity in a home?
Yes, that's a great question. So we're starting to come up on those warmer seasons as we start to get into spring and summer here. Once we start to really get into those warmer months and the humidity starts to rise outdoors, that's when we start to become more at risk indoors as well. So some of those signs is walking into a home or walking into a space and almost noticing that moldy, mildewy smell. You may be well aware within this industry, we sometimes refer to that as dirty sock syndrome. It almost has that smell of dirty laundry in the space. So I'm sure we've all been in an area like that before. So in those spaces, if you're smelling that and noticing those odors, it could mean that you have potential mold or moisture within your HVAC system. It could be underneath your floors in your basement or your crawl space, along your walls within your wood furnishings or crown molding. And unfortunately, not only is that going to have a lot of potential negative effects for the makeup of the home and your furnishings and carpeting, etc., but it also can have a lot of negative health and comfort effects as well too. So noticing those increased odors, noticing potential moisture damage around windows or on furnishings can just be some of those sensory indicators that you may have high moisture problems within a home.
So we often tell customers that when they purchase an air conditioner, that it's going to reduce the humidity in the home. Um, what can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, and that's absolutely a great question. So, a natural byproduct of the cooling process when you're running your air conditioner is getting that dehumidification. Your evaporator coils are getting down to that dew point, reducing moisture. So, as you're cooling, you are dehumidifying your home. Now, the unfortunate reality is many homes don't have systems that are fully efficient or fully designed from the beginning to offer not only temperature control, but also complete dehumidification control at the same time. So, where dehumidifiers start to come into play is to kind of supplement that dehumidification and work hand in hand to make a true partnership with the air conditioning system. If your home is not able to quite keep up with that dehumidification demand and your cooling temperatures, we don't want to offer the only solution being to making it colder and colder in your home just to remove enough humidity. We want to make it very comfortable in your home and offer that true partnership. That way you can set your thermostat to whatever temperature you feel comfortable at while making sure that it's still drying out enough in the home as well.
So then you have the right devices, units to solve the problem instead of trying to, like you said, keep making it colder. That's not going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
There's another problem. And so your devices can help with that.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on, right on that end. So one of the symptoms of high humidity that someone may not realize in their home is that they're setting their thermostat lower and lower just to feel comfortable, setting it to 70 degrees, 71 degrees, maybe even colder than that at times. And the reason that we're setting it that low is because at those warmer temperatures, we're not feeling comfortable. So coming in and just saying, well, set your thermostat higher to save some money or set your thermostat colder to dehumidify is going to make us think, well, that's going to get out of our comfort zone. And that's absolutely true. So, in order to help supplement with that, as you mentioned, if we bring in a device such as a dehumidifier whose sole focus is to remove humidity, we can now have more of that temperature control. Let us set our thermostat even warmer at times, save some money on those costly cooling costs, but still feel just as comfortable.
And as a homeowner, I before I started working in this industry, I thought that going to these units, I thought the only unit that was available was the one in the big box store, a portable unit. I didn't realize that actually what we were talking about to solve the problem that you have to get to to the core of the issue and having it be a whole home solution. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're absolutely spot on. A lot of the times when someone thinks of the word dehumidifier, not coming from this industry, their mind goes to, as you mentioned, the boxes available on the retail shelves, the ones you can pick up for a couple $100, bring home, and probably get set up and installed within 10 or 15 minutes. You plug it in, find a location for it, and you're set and ready to go. Now, when it comes to whole home dehumidification, like we offer here at AprilAire, we're generally dealing with dehumidification on a much larger scale and kind of fitting in with that true name right there. We want to focus on dehumidifying the entire home and making the entire home feel more healthy and more comfortable for those living within it. While portables do absolutely have some of their aspects to them, I myself also had a portable dehumidifier in our home growing up. And one of the things I always remember is one of my chores throughout the summer was making sure I'm emptying out that bucket in our unfinished basement. If I didn't, my mom would be very unhappy with me as she'd be able to walk into the door and notice those high humidity levels. One of the advantages you get with whole home dehumidifiers like ours is you don't have to worry about those buckets. Whether we're draining down into a floor drain in your basement or a sump pump or a condensate pump on your system, never have to really worry about that. It's a set and forget it type of device. And not only are we also offering whole home capacities, so generally much larger scale dehumidification compared to portable units, we also have some great energy efficiency on our systems as well too. Generally, that process for dehumidification can cost. It can cost a lot of money to do that. So we actually can offer higher capacities compared to portable units at lower energy costs when they're running. We want to help make sure that every dehumidifier for a home is not only going to be able to meet that dehumidification demand, but isn't going to raise your energy bill a lot in the summer as well.
Right, and one thing I noticed about purchasing these portable units is that I would have to purchase them every other year, and so you take the savings of that, and you have a much more efficient system that's designed specifically to target the situation. Um, you have to look at that as well, and then your cost.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. A lot of that feedback that we hear is very similar to what you just mentioned, where portable units or some of those brands out there just not lasting quite as long as we want them to. Year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe if you're lucky. A lot of times that's outside of their warranties as well too. Our units, since we luckily do assemble them all within here, right around the Madison area here, are really built to last with some pretty extensive end of line testing processes as well too. There's quite a few different tests that each unit has to pass, and if it fails any of those tests within that process, it doesn't get boxed up, it doesn't get a serial number. We make sure that everything's working ready to go out of the box so that you can know as a customer, once you get that and set it up or have someone install it for you, it's going to be ready to go from day one.
Tell me a little bit about the installation process.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the advantages you have with these whole home dehumidifiers is they can work in a large variety of applications. Coming from this Madison area within the Midwest, we have a lot of basements. So, a lot of dehumidifiers go down as that quote unquote freestanding or standalone application. Find a spot for it in your basement, maybe elevate it on some risers or some wooden or concrete blocks. You plug it in, set up a drain to it, and you're pretty much set to go and ready from there. Now, that's a great option for us. We also have a lot of our dehumidifiers that can work as whole home ducted into the actual air conditioning system. So, someone coming in, performing that service and ducting it to the system, wiring everything up and make sure that that air conditioner and that dehumidifier are going to work together. And then offering again kind of that set it and forget it type of mentality right there, where the only times we ever really need to pay any attention to that dehumidifier or make any adjustments is coming out for some of those service visits, cleaning filters, inspecting drain lines a couple of times a year, and it's pretty low maintenance.
Right. We work with our customers to tie that all into a maintenance appointment for their air conditioner or their gas furnace. So the mineral content in the minerals in the water in our area, minerals do build up. So
Mhm.
having that checked regularly will help with that condensate drain for sure.
Yeah.
Um, what are some recommended levels of humidity to maintain in your home in the summer?
Yeah, so that's a great question because we have a wide range that you can set our dehumidifiers to. You can set them to very low levels or pretty high levels. Now, generally overall, as long as we can try and consistently maintain under about 60% relative humidity when we're operating, we're going to get some great health, comfort, and preservation benefits. When we're consistently below that 60% mark, mold and mildew growth struggles to grow and build up. Pests within your home, like spiders and bugs, don't tend to thrive as much at those high humidity levels. So, below that 60% threshold, we're making some great benefits and strides there, especially when we consider the home that it's going into. So, if we have an existing home that has had high humidity problems, maybe 70% or more over long periods of time, when we can reduce that by 10, 15 to 20% within just a few weeks, that's going to have some absolute massive benefits that those homeowners are going to feel. So generally, if we can at least keep it within under that 60% mark, or even more ideally between 50 and 55%, that's really when we're going to get some of those great ideal benefits without also making your dehumidifier have to run 24/7 just to get down to those lowest levels.
I imagine you learned a lot in customer service, and it sounds like a great foundation. What are some things that you learned there that you feel like really helped you in all the different roles you've been doing?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it was a great stepping point to just learn so much about this industry, especially myself. I did not come from the HVAC industry background, so a lot of this was very new learning a trade industry like this. And I learned a lot from some great team members about not only the problems that you have in a home from lack of proper indoor air quality control, the misconceptions that people have on indoor air quality products, as well as the education opportunities on how to really help them understand how important it really is for indoor air quality. It's not always just about making yourself feel more comfortable or healthier. It's about your family members, your children as well too. And it's also about preserving your system and your home. We know that HVAC pieces of equipment are investments for homeowners. So we want to offer all those great indoor air quality options to not only make you feel healthier and more comfortable, but also preserve that system and keep that system running at its maximum efficiency for as long as possible.
Is there anything you'd like to share that you haven't shared so far that you want people to know?
Yeah. So again, thank you, because dehumidification, as we kind of really get into that season, is really a critical aspect of indoor air quality control. There's a lot of different aspects there, from high efficiency filtration, fresh air ventilation, temperature control, humidity control year round. But it's really critical to not only help you feel healthier and more comfortable in your home, but really preserve your home as well too. It's a full, true partnership with your system. We want you to be able to walk into your home at any time and feel just as comfortable throughout the entire year. We can really help with those issues where we get used to those issues that we deal with in our home. We deal with in the heat of the summer, in the most humid months, that we're just sweating a little bit more. We're feeling a little bit more uncomfortable. We can help with a lot of those long-standing issues. And we can really make it so when somebody else walks into your home, they're amazed right away at just how comfortable it feels. And that's controllable in every home as long as we utilize a full suite of indoor air quality products.
Well, thank you so much, Taylor, for taking time to speak with our audience.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.